Good morning, Internet. This is Alex does Sudokus, and it is... Oh, I should probably bring up the New York Times thing. It is Saturday, the 14th of November, 2020, and we have some New York Times Sudokus that we are going to go through, and then I'm going to change this session into LA Times Sudokus. So, let's have a look. I am going to transition into easy first. Let's warm ourselves up for some Sudokus. So I've got one there, one here, and one here. So that sort of one's done. What about twos? We've got two there, and a two there, and that's sort of twos, threes. Got a three there. Didn't mean to overwrite the two. So where are the other threes? I've got a three over there as well. So I've got two threes that I can't identify. Moving on to fours, we have a four here, four there, four here, and that should give me the final four as well. Five, that's sort of fives, sixes, hold on a sec. Oh, struggling a bit with the sixes. That's a six. So that's also a six, which means this is a six, and that... Oh, hang on, no. This is not a six then. I think the six goes here, actually. Unless I've already botched this one up, which wouldn't be surprising at all. So how is everyone today? I've updated my Streamlabs to be connected to... no, it's not my stream... Yeah, my Stream Deck, my little app that I use as a Stream Deck to be connected to... Oh yeah, I've broken the puzzle. That's not a six. So I think the six... Yeah, I think I messed up with the sixes. Doing well, how about you? I'm okay. Yeah, I'm... Oh, this is bad. I've completely botched this up, haven't I? So 8 goes there, so that means the 8 has to go here. Unless I've messed up the 8. Have I messed up an easy puzzle? Because that is just embarrassing. I'm just going to restart it because I think I placed the wrong number somewhere in my haste. But yeah, I spent most of yesterday sorting out, setting up my new phone. My new iPhone arrived, and the setup process is actually really easy, with one caveat. If you're migrating from an iPhone with 128GB capacity, which is what I decided to get when I got my iPhone 7, because I had a full-time job and I had, a decent salary, and I was able to afford the more expensive version of the phone. I think, yeah, back when, 2016, I went to the Apple shop, kind of like near release date, and because I upgraded the iOS to whatever the iPhone 7 started with, probably iOS 7, I guess, which wasn't really doing too well on... oh, this is where I got confused. The 6. So 6... No, 6... Let's see. 6 goes here, which means it has to go there. Oh yeah, so the 6 didn't resolve. That's why I got confused. But I went to the shop, and I ran out of the 64GB model, but I had more money than cents at the time, and decided, screw it, I want to upgrade my phone now, so I'm just going to buy the 128GB version. So I've been with a 128GB version phone for a while, which is great in terms of like making loads of videos and never having to worry about storage. And but the downside is this time when I decided to upgrade, I can only really afford the 64GB version, and it doesn't have the space to migrate my phone, to transfer other phone data from 120 gigabyte to my 64. So it basically just kind of like, for a computer says no kind of error. But like, it's quite cool. You just basically like set up the phone, and as long as it's near your old phone will just like kind of ping up saying, do you want to transfer or something like that. And it shows this like weird, I don't know if you've seen the Avengers Age of Ultron, where they kind of like showed what Jarvis was like as a computer AI, and it's just like a cloud of weird spiky things. And it's kind of like that. It's like a cloud of dots, and it's just like swirling around. And on your new phone, you've got a scanner. So rather than scanning a QR code, it scans this cloud of dots to kind of like recognize the phone that you're definitely wanting to transfer the data from. And then, because there's no way it can be duplicated, and it's like kind of, it's moving at the same time. So unlike a QR code, which would be static, so in theory you can like, I don't know, copy someone's QR code, I suppose. I don't know why they went with the cloud thing, because you still in theory have to confirm. And then after that, it just like uses Bluetooth, I think, to transfer the data over. And it started the whole process, and I thought, oh, that's so cool, that's so easy. So I went cooking, and then cooking lunch, and then when I came back, it's like, nope, sorry, you haven't got enough storage space on the new phone, so you can't do it. So I was a bit disappointed by that. So I thought, oh, maybe I just can't use the this fancy cloud dot thing to do the transfer. And but nope, turns out I just haven't got enough capacity. Didn't matter that I installed iTunes on my computer, which is not something I've done in a long time, and then did a manual backup, which crunched up all the data on my C drive, and then it still said, nope, you haven't got enough space. So sorry, tough. You can't enjoy this really amazing new feature that we've got. That makes an amazing user experience for phone transfers, and I had to basically, I ended up doing what my friend does every, I think he's been upgrading his iPhone every year, so it's similar. No, hold on, he's not similar. I think he's actually an Apple fan, like a fanboy for Apple, basically. Whereas I appreciate the products, but I don't really like Apple's. But I think my friend is aware that, Apple is not the most ethical of companies. Basically, if you have money, then they're ethical to you. But if you haven't, like if you're a factory worker, then they're okay with your suffering making iPhones. So anyway, going off on a tangent there. But yeah, my friend basically just he doesn't do backup restores. He just sets his phone up as a new phone every year, and that's what I had to do yesterday. I had to set up all my what was it? Find all the apps that I've ever downloaded, and pick out the ones that I do want to download, and then log into every single one of them individually, which I think you have to do anyway for most of them. But the trickiest part is, since I couldn't transfer the phone directly, and I used Google Authentication for two-factor authentication, which is something you should do. If you use anything that uses two-factor authentication, you should enable it. But I use a Google Authenticator, which is not the best thing on the iOS, because you can't export your authentication keys. That meant I had to disable two-factor authentication for every individual thing that I've logged in to, and disable them, and then turn them back on, setting up the new code, because there's no export from within the app itself. I think that's Google kind of like being a bit anti-competitive there. I may need to look into if Apple has their own authentication app actually, because I would imagine that would make a really good smooth UX. And my password manager doesn't have that either, because if you use 1Password, it has built-in two-factor authentication, and it's really cool because you just use it to log into your device, and then if you have two-factor authentication installed, I think it basically automatically copies the code for you, and you can just paste it in. So it's really great. but you have to pay for it basically, and I can't afford to pay for a password service at the moment, so I still use LastPass, which is still free and is still pretty good. The UX for LastPass is not great, but as a service, it does the job basically. So yeah, if you take away anything from today's video, get yourself a password manager. That's just a must in modern day because it allows you to have really strong passwords over multiple devices. Across all platforms with individual passwords. Warning: I will make a load of typos. I had to stay on Jack's stream for Amber. Did Amber come up in the end? Because I couldn't stay for Amber. I know you were asking him to get Amber on stream, but anyway, I should probably talk about Sudokus a little bit. So the medium Sudoku, I've kind of like done it with no pencil marking so far, and just basically looking at the numbers. I think there are a couple of them I use kind of invisible pointer pairs to identify numbers. So let's have a look at where we are now. We are missing a 9 and an 8, so we can't do that. But I think the 8 are locked in these two cells. 8 and 9 are locked in these two cells anyway, because this is a triple of 1, 5, 1, 5, and 6, which I can't do. So moving on. So yeah, get yourself a password manager, enabled all two-factor authentications that you can. You can get the Google Authentication app. LastPass also have, no, hold on, LastPass, no T. LastPass has a authentication app as well, but it's a separate app. They haven't built it into their password manager app, so it's not as good as the 1Password's kind of like smooth experience. So I guess you get what you pay for. And if you're in a workplace, then LastPass you can actually, we don't use it. I'm trying to encourage my workplace to get a LastPass account, team account, but apparently you can get it so that you can share passwords to team members and then revoke the access to the passwords when they leave the team. And the idea is that you can log on to systems, log on to websites, without ever being able to actually see the password, because it's just like all hidden. You can only use the app to actually log in. But of course the downside is if some of the websites do not have some of the websites don't set up the kind of like the login page properly, and I definitely noticed that when I was logging other things yesterday. So if it's been done properly, then your username or email, I think you have to like put in the type in the HTML code, and your password manager should recognize that, should prompt for password 5. Oh, should I be placing a 5? So I can place a 5 there. Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention to the Sudoku. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, if you don't configure your website or your app properly, then it may not actually show the it may not trigger the password manager, which is really annoying because I then have to go to the password manager to copy the username, and then come back to the app, and then go to the, a lot of websites nowadays, they have even apps on the first screen you only put in your username, and then it shows the password field, which I really hate because it doesn't offer any additional user experience. I think it's basically something to do with the way a lot of apps uses API to log in nowadays, and there seems to be like a confirmation, like they seem to do it. I presume they do a check. One day I'm going to check the APIs, check the source codes to the network traffic to see if putting in the username actually triggers an API call before it shows the password field. Maybe basically say, sorry, we don't recognize this account, so therefore we're not going to let you put in the password at all. And maybe it's a way of like preventing unauthorized attempts on logins. So I don't know. I don't really see how it seriously benefits from a security perspective, but I'm sure there's a reason for it, so I should probably look it up because I am interested in securities. Anyway, so what have we got? We've got 6 and 9 in these two fields. So these are 6 and 9, 6, 8 and 9. Can't place any of them, so let's see. Any other weak areas? Ones, twos, threes, three, three, three. So I'm trying to do this with no pencil markings and see how far I can get. And I think I can do most of the LA Times ones with no pencil markings, but New York Times I seem to struggle a little bit because I think the algorithm is just a bit different, and it's quite, I don't know, I think the quality of the puzzles are better, but you need to use kind of matching pairs more often maybe. Sorry. It must be quite boring for you. And also, I think you must be quite tired now, Elaine. So, point a pair of eights and nines. Hey, hang on a sec. Elaine, you said, oh yeah, there's a 9 here. Because of this 9 creating a pointed triple, so that's got to be a 9, which means this is now a 6, which unlocks another 6, so I've got a pair of 6s there. So also, that unlocks a 6 down here because of that 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is now an 8, and that's a 9. So, yeah, you said you were going to be like really awake and alert. So I was a bit skeptical about that because it doesn't change. I don't know, whatever your situation, it shouldn't change how tired you are because it's still late where you are. So, okay, so ones, twos, threes. I'm trying to just, it's fine, don't worry about it. Oh, there's a number here, so this is a 7. So that's a 7, that's a 7 as well. So I've got a pair of 7s and a pair of 7s there. These are 7s and, oh, I'm being blind. 1s and 7s, okay, 1s and 7s. I was going to nap today. Oh, naps are good. I used to nap a lot. And so did my dad, actually, on the weekends. He would take naps and, in fact, he would allow me to take naps as well on the weekend. And it's like a treat. Because he was a very strict parent. 1, 5, and 1, 5, and 8. So I've got 8, I've got 5, but I've got 9. Got no other numbers. So what about here? I've got 1, 5, and 1, 5, and 6. And I think this is a 1, 5, 6 triple as well. So that extends. It's kind of like an out shape. 1, 5, and 6. So that's interesting. Is that possible? Yeah, of course it's possible. So they share one number and then they have the other 2 numbers. So, okay. That's not very helpful for me right now to try to solve this with no pencil markings. So, what other weak areas have we got? We've got a triple over here as well. So this is 4, 8, and 9. I've got 8 in these 2 cells, so that's an 8. Which unlocks another 8 over there, leaving me with 2 pairs of 8s pencil markings. So, what are the other numbers again? 6 and 9. No, hold on. It can't be a 6. We've got a 6. So, it's 4 and 9 left in these 2 cells, and we can't resolve them. So, but I do have 4s locked in these 2 positions. So, is that a 2-pair situation? What are these? These are 1s and 5s, can't be resolved. There's nothing special going with the 5s, is there? I feel like there is something interesting going with the 5s, but I can't see what it is yet. So I'm going to explore the quadruples. So missing 3, 5, no, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, and 8. 5, oh, 1, 5, and 8. 1, 3, 5, and 8. Yep, so that's a naked 3, which means this is the 9. And if that's a 9, then this must be a 9 as well, because I've got a pointed pointed pair of 9s over there. And these are now 6s and 4s, which can be resolved because there's 4, which unlocks number 4 there. So I've got a 4 should be done now. Yep, they are. So 6s. Anything interesting going on with the 6s? Not really. They're locked in a bottom cages in general. Okay, so let's have a look at this triple. This is 1, 5, and 3. 1, 3, and 5. Well, 3 can only go in this cell because of that 3 and that 3. So this is also a free. That was the final free there. So I've got a pointer pair of ones there, and another pair of ones there. And I haven't got ones locked down in any other special ways. So, so these two numbers are the same, aren't they? They are ones and oh no, they're not the same. Hang on a sec. These are, oh, no, hold on. Think about this. This is a pair, so this is a triple, so this is a, oh yeah, this is already a pair. Let's have a look at the pairs. So these are ones and fives. Can't tell what they are. These are ones and fives as well. Hang on a sec. They are. So these are the same numbers. Oops, didn't mean to smack them in. So, but they're ones and fives. Okay. So, and these are ones and something else. And these are ones and sevens. So I've got a 157 situation. Hold on, that can't be a 7. That can't be a 7. Oh, I've got 7 selected in those cells. Okay, that wasn't useful at all. I hate my neighbours. They were blasting music with really heavy bass. Oh, that's the worst. That is the worst. It's like, I think like high bass music is kind of like the big measuring contest of apartment buildings. So, you know, the whole like, what is it? Hope I'm not offending you guys, but you know, when people drive a Humvee in a suburb, and it's basically like a, you know, small energy kind of thing, and I feel it's like, you know, blasting massive bass music is like that because it's just not on. You can definitely enjoy music without a massive, huge amount of bass because just come on. Most cars that drive down my street blast the music. Yeah, we had the same situation. One time, I was woken up at like, I don't know, 6 or 6:30 in the morning where most people would be asleep. So where I live in an apartment block, and there are basically 3 parking spaces on our street, just across the road, and someone had parked their car opposite and blasted the music with just ridiculous, like even with the window shut. There's no way anyone can sleep. I can't listen to music with heavy bass at all. I can get like some people like the heavy bass at clubs and stuff like that, but come on, at home you don't need that kind of bass at home. It's like more, it's like from a utilitarian perspective, like your enjoyment can ruin multiple people's days. So it's just not right. So just like small dick energy kind of thing. And but yeah, this guy was like blasting the music at 6:30 a.m. next to a residential block. So put on my clothes, put on my shoes, went outside, knocked on the window, and he was like staring at me like I was gonna mug him or something like that. It's like, come on, I can't look at me. I'm not gonna mug you. I'm a tiny person. And they said, you know, I knocked on the window and asked, can you turn down the music? And they just like looked away as I walked off. I figured like I knocked on his window, he put it down, and I said, can you turn down your music, please? And he didn't say anything, and I started walking away, assuming that he's heard my message and would just do that because, you know, I figure he'll be a decent human being. But yeah, thank you for another 5. It's over there, isn't it? Because there's a pointer pair of 5s blocking that cell and a 5 blocking that cell. So, so then I noticed that he's just basically carrying on with his music. He just wasn't turning it down. So I went back, knocked on his window again, and asked, "Can you please turn down the music?" And he was like, "If I do, will you leave me alone?" And I was like, yeah, you leave us alone. This is a residential building. So you're the one who's not leaving us alone by blasting your music. So he turned it down a little bit. I went back inside. And then he turned it up the music again. So I was getting dressed again before he drove off. Finally. Thank God for that. So, because I've had other encounters before when I have woken up at like 2 in the morning, and like I don't really want to go into the street because like it's quite, it's we don't live in the suburbs. This is the city centre that I live in, so I don't really want to go on the street at 2 a.m. in a kind of. It's not the roughest part of town, but it's not the nicest part of town either. And going onto the street in the middle of the night when people were blasting their music. But I get that it's kind of like it used to be factories and warehouses around here, and in fact my room has like this warehouse door that's been blocked up, and like people, it's kind of like sold as a feature, but I hate it because it's not insulated very well, so it gets really cold in my bedroom, and or in our bedroom, my wife and my bedroom. Anyway, and but yeah, I went outside in the middle of 2 a.m. in the morning, and asking these two guys you know, in a car, blasting the music, smoking weed, and I said, "Oh, can you please turn the music down? Like, this is a residential block. Yeah, this is an apartment building where I'm coming from, and yeah, it's really late." And they were really funny and stuff. "Oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that it's a residential block." So they turned down the music, and yeah, just left us alone, and that was fine. But this guy, 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., and he was getting scared by me. But I guess that goes to show, like, it's not the nicest part of town, so I guess the guy was, like, scared of. But then, if he was scared of this part of town, then why did he drive here, stop his car in a rough part of town to blast this music? To basically tell everybody you're here. So that was weird. Anyway, people suck. I hate people. Except you guys, and my wife, and my friends, and some of the people at work. So 1 and 6 here. These are 1s and 6s as well. Okay, so let's see if we can do more numbers. It's probably worth doing a scan now. So 1s, 2s, 3s. So 2, 3, and 4 are done. So you can see on the New York Times by the grayed out numbers what has been done. So can we do more of the 5s? 5s are tucked in here, here. Oh, hold on. No, here and here. So that's not very useful. Oh, I didn't know you can do a lesbian themed heart. That's very nice. I'm just going to go on to the chat. Let's see. Emojis. Wow, there's a lot of Pokemons. Global. Oh wow. There's so many emojis, but I can't see that heart. So I can see this one. Did that work? I don't know. Yes, that worked. But I can't see the other heart, so thank you for sharing that. I will have to look into the emojis later. So anyway, back to the puzzle. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that heart. Let's see, virtual hug and love sign. Ah, thank you, guys. Love you guys. Okay, so let's have a look at this column. No, hold on, maybe this column. This is a triple. So what have we got here? 1, 5, 1, 5, and 8. And this is 1, 8. No, this is 1, 4, 6. 1, 4, 6, and 9. So I got 4 and 6 on this row. So that's a 1 and 9. This is a 1. Hold on a sec. 1. No, there's a 4 already. So it's 1, 6, 7, and 9. Sorry. So I got a lot of subs on music channels. I do have many heart options. Ah, okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I need to look into like what the subs are like how much they cost, because I should subscribe to some channels, but I haven't set up my pay. I suppose it's with Amazon, isn't it? So maybe I'll take money from my Amazon. But I'm guessing like subs aren't super expensive, otherwise it'd be difficult to kind of like do lots of them. So let's have a look. In fact, someone gave me. It's really weird. Like I dropped into. I think it was one of your raids. I think you raided. I can't remember who you raided. Nerdy Wisdom, and someone gifted me a tier 1 subscription for 1 month to Nerdy Wisdom. So I think it was when we raided that channel, and yeah, and someone I don't know, Spark into a Flame, gifted you a tier 1 subscription to Nerdy Wisdom. So I need to check out Nerdy Wisdom's channel. I think he's the guy who was doing the crossword, wasn't he? The guy who did a lot of chuckling. Bless him. He was so what's the word? Contagious. Oh, is it? Quite common. So I did see. I was on someone else's stream last night, and I saw that Jim Sterling had like gifted subs to people. So that was really cool. Oh, so yeah, I need to look into how much subs cost. So going back to this is okay, it's 1, 6, 7, and 9. I've got 7 and 9 there. I've got 6 and 9 there, so that's 1 and 7. I've got 6 and nothing else there. I've got 7 there, so I can't deduce this yet. This is also quadruple. This is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 6, and 7. And 7 can't go. 7 can only go there. Usually about $5 a month. Okay. Yeah, I will have to look into that, but I need to sort out my work situation first. Because I've had to disable a lot of my what do you call it, direct debits. When I went into part time, I mean, I still ended up kind of like saving enough money to buy, but I basically haven't had much what do you call it, disposable income in the last couple of years until this year, when I guess one advantage of the lockdown is that we're not going out anymore, and we're not meeting friends in restaurants, so it's easy. You know, I've been having a little bit more money. It's very common on music channels in particular. I see much less of that on gaming channels. Okay. I'm guessing that's about gifted subs. But there's just so much to learn about Twitch, and yeah, I guess it's such a massive community as well. I knew Twitch is a very community driven thing, but I didn't really understand what the community was like, and I only have positive things to say about the Twitch community so far, because everyone's just been lovely, and I guess you guys kind of like gave me the best impressions. And I was looking at like charity streams, because there's part of a work thing that I'm doing. I'm trying to basically, work wants me to approach a lot of streamers. They wanted me to approach 50 streamers to ask them if they're fundraise for us, and I'm like, I'm not gonna. No, that's too high. That's I'm not gonna do that. I can't just like it's like cold calling streamers, and if anything, that's probably just gonna put them off our charities in the future. So I went onto streams that kind of like to get a vibe first, to watch people's streams and see what they're like, and if I think that kind of like, you know, they're the kind of person who share the same kind of perspective on things, I suppose, then I think there's enough chance that maybe if they have the capacity, they would consider doing something. I'm not even like making it like, will you fundraise for us, do a charity stream for us. I'd rather build relationships with them to say, hey, you know, I'm from a charity. We don't know what we're looking for yet. Do you want to do anything with us? And I figure that'd be a nicer way, because I feel it's very much a relationship building on Twitch, where I know different streamers know each other, and the fact that, you know, there's a method to raid other streamers. This is all just like spreading love around the community, and I think you can look into, yeah. So that's what I ended up doing. I went on to Tiltify, and I saw one of the streamers. She's a presenter on one of the YouTube channel that I watch. So I watch What Culture. They do like daily videos, and she's Rage from What Culture, and so I went onto her channel just to see what she was doing, and I think she was playing the original Demon Souls, And when I went on the channel, there's a little thing, there's a little emoji to kind of like wave hello, and everybody was saying hello to me, and Rach was saying hello to me, and like asking me how I was, and I was like, oh my god, this is such a nice community. And so I kind of like made a comment, and yeah, she said like, yeah, at least on this part of Twitch it is. So I think she's hinting that there may be some, like any communities, I guess there are toxic parts of it, but I just haven't found it. Every single channel I've been onto, I've really enjoyed. So anyway, let's finish this Sudoku for reasons unknown, because you know, I'm supposed to be doing Sudoku. So sorry for anyone on YouTube if you're watching the medium puzzle. Let's finish this. Sixes. I don't actually know if I can finish this with no pencil markings. I've got a pair of eights down there, pair of eights down there. So I have a feeling there's some sort of pairings going on somewhere. Nines. 9, 9, 9. So 9. Okay, so this is an 8, 9 pair, right? Because 8 and 9. Yeah, 8 and 9 can't go in these three cells. And that's useful because we have a pair up here, meaning in the column we've got a triple now. So if these two numbers are matching pair, this number must be resolvable. So let's work it out. I've got 8 and 9 already, and these are 1s and 5s. So 1, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that must be a 6 then. And if that's a 6, then this must be a 6, and that must be a 6, which unlocks the 1, which means that's a 1, and that's a 1, and that's a 1, and that's a 1. So that's sort of 1's done, and that should allow me to unlock some 5s, 5s, 5s. So now 8 and 9 can be resolved on this row because of that 9, so that resolves the 8 there as well, and a 9 over here, 9 over there, and that just leaves me the 7s, and that's the medium Sudoku with no pencil markings. I know that Jack's Skeptic Eye does a charity once a month or rarer. I don't know if he still does that after he launched his own coffee can. Oh wow, that's so cool. So I will have to check him out. Jacksepticeye. The only thing is, like, with Twitch, I know most of the streamers are American, and I think approaching American streamers may be a bit. Oh, he's Irish, so thank you. I'll definitely have to check him out to see if he will do anything for us. It's closer to us, but it's still a different country technically. So, I mean, definitely, yeah. I need to be careful what I say about Irish, because I think I don't know the history too much, but he started from YouTube. Yeah, I've seen a lot of YouTubers who turns out to be streamers here. One of my favorite YouTubers from a few years ago, Sean, on YouTube. He does a lot of kind of, I guess, political videos, like leftist videos, and but he's not been doing any content in the past year or two, and yeah, yesterday I found him on Twitch, and but he's not very talkative. I think he lives in the UK now. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Bless you. I'll definitely have to check him out. So, and this is the kind of things I want to report back to my work group at work, because I really don't want to cold call random streamers, and I really don't think we should, because I think, you know, if we're just cold calling every streamer, that already implies that we're not kind of doing it for the sake of building relationships with them. It just feels a bit one-sided, and that's always been my struggle with work. I don't like this one-sided relationship where we just want to get things from different communities, tapping into different communities. I want us to build relationships with our supporters, with our fundraisers, and I want to do the same in the world of streamers, basically. So I really want to think of like what we can offer them, and it's just been a bit difficult. So yeah, if anyone on YouTube as well, please feel free to comment if you know anyone on bit of a plug. If you know anyone who would consider doing stuff for kind of, it's a women's and children's charity, but we have a lot of specialties. Like, we're looking into mental health stuff at the moment. So if you know any streamers who have an affinities with mental health, please leave a comment below, and I will look into. So it's a hospital charity. So I started working with the children's hospital charity, but we merged with the women's hospital. And the fact is, the hospital charity kind of like changes things a little bit for a lot of people. They get a certain impression because, like, well, in the UK we've got the National Health Service, the NHS. So why should anyone give to the charities? But basically, suffice to say, under Tory government, the NHS has been being gutted systematically over the last decade. Every time the Tories have been in power, the NHS has been kind of like gradually gutted because they want to privatize healthcare, and but they know that the public love the NHS, so the way they're approaching is to try and kind of demonstrate that the NHS is poorly run. But to do that, they're basically just cutting funding left, right, and centre. And but anyway, going back to our charity, we have so many amazing things. So the last major appeal that we did before I left the kind of like full time was we raised money for a rare disease unit at the hospital. And I'm kind of like basically telling you guys where I work, because if you Google these things up, you will find out which charity I am with all the clues I've dropped in. But rare disease is a really weird thing, because there are basically hundreds, if not thousands, of rare diseases. I think it's literally thousands of rare diseases. And the problem is, like, if a child has a rare disease, you go to the doctors, the GP can't really diagnose it because it's a rare condition, so they may not find it. So you go back to the doctors, and they do some tests, and then and they don't know what it is, and you go back to the hospital. You keep having appointments back and forth, and it takes a huge toll on like families. One of the things I learned kind of like from the parents is apparently a child with a rare disease condition can lead to the breakup of the parents, basically, because the stress of going through that, like constantly being in and out of the hospital, in and out of GPs, just takes a toll on like your stress, your mental health, and ultimately your marriage sometimes. So what we ended up, we managed to fundraise and got funding. We got funding for this cancer center, which is like a multi-floor building, and we always knew we wanted to, if we could raise the additional money, we could put a rare disease center at the bottom floor. And the idea is it's a streamlined process where, your kid, we're not quite sure what's wrong with your kid, so they get an appointment at the rare disease center where they go through all the specialist GPs in one session. In a single session, they will go through all the kind of base diagnosis from like doctors from all kinds of specialties, and we do basically all the tests that are necessary, but hopefully not too invasive. Depending on what they are, I guess the invasive tests may have to be done to confirm. But basically, by doing all the tests in one session, like most of the kind of like first instance of diagnosis, we'll have a much better chance of like getting the right specialist, and the right specialist to find out what potential disease you've got, and it's just completely groundbreaking in terms of the experience as a patient and experience as a family of a patient. I'm just like tearing up thinking about talking about how amazing it is, and yeah, we managed. That was the last appeal that we fundraised for, and just like listening to the parents talking about their journey, because like some of these kids, they can go on for years not knowing what what is wrong with them, and they're literally like a handful of people around the world who have the condition. So, and by kind of like having this name, putting this name to rare diseases, and having a centre, and basically having this facility meant like different families with rare diseases can actually, with the same rare diseases, can actually connect with each other. So that creates this support network as well. And but yeah, it's like it's fully running. It's just like kind of one of the many favourite things in my hospital. I say my hospital, but yeah, I just love it so much. Okay, I'm going to take a breather because yeah, it's just getting me a bit emotional. Um, so so now we just launched a mental health service campaign, Admittedly, I don't know too much about it because I'm part-time, so I've not been as involved kind of day-to-day level, so I haven't been able to like get involved kind of when we have the, because for every single fundraising campaign we typically have kind of someone from the ward to come in and talk to us, and then we get to hear from stories from the parents. We really get to understand what it is we're fundraising for, and I actually work in the infrastructure part of fundraising. I deal with like the technology, the behind the scenes stuff. But this is how I working full time. That was how I got engaged with all this work that we do. And so with our mental health campaign, I'm not too sure what's going on, like what the specific kind of like goal of the project is. And but I do know that the mental health services, it basically, one of the things about kids going into adulthood is that if you go from a children's hospital, and then when you hit 18 you have to change your service to move on to adult hospitals. That's a really jarring experience because I'm going to massage my hospital's ego a little bit, but our hospital is just amazing. The staff are just wonderful. So, our kids have some of the, you know, that our kids are happy basically. Nobody wants to be in a hospital. Nobody wants to come into a hospital, but you don't get scared kids on the corridors in a hospital because it's a really welcoming place. And that's kind of like part of the ongoing effort to fundraise. We make the hospital as kind of we call it a healing environment, but also we make it, we're not going to get funding from the NHS to kind of like do it up in the way that is friendly specifically for children, because the NHS funding from the government is really baseline. It's just for the operations, it's just for the basic treatments and stuff like that. But any specialism, we kind of we put the extra money in basically. We look for grants, we look for partnerships and things like that. Yeah, they absolutely do. You just have to be an amazing person to be able to work in a children's hospital, because I know I can't work in a children's hospital like frontline, because like I would just get too emotionally overwhelmed. Um, and I hate saying this, like, because I certainly believe it, but like you see the kids and they are just so strong, they're just so brave and not like even giving a second thought to what they're going through most of the times, despite having some of the most horrible conditions that no person, no adult should go through, let alone a child. And and to kind of like put on a smile for these kids when they're going through these tough journeys. It's just, it takes a special kind of people. And but anyway, going back to their journey. So the thing is, like I said, the funding for the NHS is not really enough to kind of build up the services for the experience basically. So our adult hospitals are generally speaking quite gloomy, and there are exceptions of course, but most hospitals you go in, it's just not nice. It's like I've not had a single good experience visiting friends at a hospital, because it's just, the lightings are terrible. The staff can be a bit short term because they're so overworked. And not to say the staff are not overworked in a children's hospital, but I like to think like our management does a slightly better job to keeping them kind of like, because we do give a lot of shit about mental health within our staff as well as a trust. So basically, for a child to have gone through a journey, regardless of whether it's mental health, whether it's cancer treatment, whether it's like cardiac, whether it's like lung, any specialisms that requires you to go through our service for multiple years, and then having to continue that journey into adulthood, it can be quite jarring journey basically, to switch from an amazing experience in the children's to an adult service. So we have different programs, we work with different partners to kind of like mitigate that kind of jarring experience. So I know for a fact that mental health service is really good. We've got like a 16 to 25 journey like transitional journey for the patients, so that you get the best experience you can migrating to an adult service, basically. So we basically look after kids from 0 to 20 adults of 25 years old, basically. So anyway, that's kind of what the current campaign is, and I think, yeah, it'd be really nice if we can get some supporters to. I would like to kind of like personally, and I hope work doesn't find my stream, but I hope they will kind of like consider partnerships as well as just straight up fundraising. So let's do some Sudokus. So should we try and do a blind Sudoku where I don't do pencil markings? Because I have done that before with hard. Today's puzzle looks pretty hard actually, so let's see how far I can get without any pencil markings. So I can't see anything with ones, twos, threes, three. So I got a pair of threes there, not much going on. Oh, that's a three, so three. Thank you so much, Elaine. That's really wonderful of you. So this three and that three looks another three there. So I've got a pair of threes there, and pointer pair of threes there, so but they're not going to unlock anything. Moving on to fours, we've got pointer triple, we've got a pair over there, and on that column, so can't do anything with that. Fives are locked in those two cells, these three cells, those two cells, and a block over there. Aha! So this is a pointer pair of fives because of these fives, so that must be a five as well then. So that's all the fives that I can see. Let's look at sixes. Well, this is a pointer triple 6. That means I've got sixes there. Got a pair of sixes there. Not useful. Okay, 5 and 6. Aha! 4, 5, and 6 are locked in these three cells. I think. No, hold on. 4s are down here. What am I talking about? 4, 5, 6. No, it's just 5 and 6. 5 and 6 are locked in those cells. That's a bit annoying. Okay, let's carry on. Sixes. Can I do more with the sixes? Not really, no, I don't think so. So sevens, pair of sevens there. Aha, so this 7 locks a pointer pair of sevens there. So these 2 rows are taken. So that must be a 7 then. So 7s can be here. Can't see anything else, so let's have a look at 8. Well, 8. There's only a single 8. So let's look at this cell. That looks like a naked number. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7. 8, so it's missing 9 and 1, 2, 3 and 9 is missing there. Okay, let's have a look at 9. 9's are in these two cells. 9's. I don't think there's any 9's there, so that's disappointing. So what's on this column then? This is 1, 3, 9 and 1, 3, 4. No, 1, 3. 1, 3, 8 and 9. Okay, 1, 3, 8 and 9. So 1 and 3, so that's 8 and 9. No, there's no. I don't think there's an unlock there. So what was I missing? It was 3, 3 and 9. Well, I've got 3 and 9 over there, so let's have a look at that. Still got 1 and 2. Haven't got 4 now. 5, 6. Oh, so now I'm missing a 7. So 4 and 7 there. That's annoying. 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So that's no use. 1, 2, 3. No, I don't think I'm going to get a naked single here. So what about on the column? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So missing 2, 7 and 9 there. Yeah, I'm genuinely not convinced there's a naked single. So let's stick to the 9's. 9's can't see anything really. I think I've already had a quick look at it. So, okay. Let's look at the weak areas then. We've got quadruple here, so this is 4. 4's can't go in these two cells, so 4's have to be there, but I have to have a 4 on this column as well, so that means that can't be a 4 anymore, so this is the only place that the 4 can go. With that, I've developed another quadruples, but let's have a look at this triple first. So this is 6, 6, 8 and 9. Okay, I can't deduce that, I don't think. Okay, so let's have a look at quadruple. These are 2, 2, 6, 2, 6, 8 and 9. 8 is always going to be around, so got to bear that in mind. So I've only got a 6. So these are, there are no 6s there. No, I don't think I can do anything of that. Anything else going on that is weak? I suppose I've got a quadruple in this cage. So, it's not very helpful. So I've got 2s in these 3 cells, 3s in these 2 cells, and then 8 and 9 in all the cells, so that's no good. Let's have a look at that as well. So I've got a pair of 7s there. Are 7s locked in the same 2 columns? No, they're not. 8s are locked in there. 3, 8, no, unless they're pointed pairs. No, they aren't. So I think it's time to do another round of hypothetical pencil markings. So I've got a pair of 1s there, so a pair of 1s there. And this can't be a 1 either. Aha, so that unlocks a 1. Because this one and that one forces a pointed pair of 1s there. So this can't be a 1, this can't be a 1, this can't be a 1. So now I've got a triple. I didn't even look at this quadruple actually. So what have we got? 3, 4, 3, 4 and 9. Oh, I think I did look at, did I look at that? I can't remember. 3, 4 and 9. I've got 3 and 4 there. So this, no, hold on. I've got 4 on the column. It's not 3, 4 and 9. It's 3, 8 and 9. Okay. 3, 8 and 9. So this is still 3 and 9. This is 8 and 9. Oh, hang on. This has a 3. So 3 must go down here then. And with that 3, I've got another 3 over there. So I'm just left with a 3 down here. So all the 3s are done. So doing well so far. So these are 8 and 9s, leaving me a triple. But these are 1s. Have I got a pair up here by any chance? Those are 9. No, hold on. These are 8 and 9s, aren't they? So I'm missing 1, 2 and 4. Oh, damn it. I don't have anything with that. 4s. Ah, hang on. No, hold on. No. I've got 4 down here already. So 4s are locked in these 2 columns. So don't think I can deduce that yet. So 8 and 9. 1, 2 and 4. But the 1s are there. What about the 2s? Can I lock down the 2s? Hold on. This is a pair. These are 2s and 8s. 2s, 2s. So... no, nothing special going on with the 2s. But it does rule out this cell as a 2, so does that help me? What was I looking for? No, it's too barren. Yeah, there's nothing on the row and column that looks like it will solve. So I think it's time to have another look then at the pencil markings. So 1s, that's a 1 now. This one and that one. So I've got a pair of 1s there, pair of 1s there. So this must be a 1 as well. Okay, so not doing too badly so far. 2, 2, so 2s are locked in these cells, and anywhere else. No, especially. 3s are done. 4s. Okay, I should look at this cage actually, because that forces a point. Because whenever you've got 4 numbers locked in a corner, that means you've got a single column and a single row, so it's always worth looking to see if anything covers that. So for instance, the 5 sees into that, which creates another pointed pair of 5s, so 5s have to be there. Now, hold on, 5, oh, I've got a pair of 5s up there as well, so actually, oh, hang on, that means that has to be a 5, because I've already got a 5 on that row. So, that leaves me a triple of 4, what is it, 4, 7, 2, 4 and 7. Can't do anything with that. Okay, so, I think I was looking for 4s, wasn't I, when I did use that, because I think I've done 2s. Yeah, I did look at 3s already, so 4s. 4s are in this column, in here, up here, over there, so they're not stuck in any columns or rows. 5s, I think I looked at, they're locked in these cells, So that's an annoying combo that I always find. Ah, point a pair of 6s. That's useful because that means that has to be a 6. So this 6 and that 6 forces a point a pair of 6s. So that rules out these two rows, leaving me with the 6s in columns 4 and 6. Well, 6 is going to go in the same two columns in this case, so it must be on column 5, and I've got a 6 covering it. So now, let's see, I've got 6s in these two cells. Ooh, feels like I'm getting close to solving this one, but probably spoke too soon. So let's see. Can't see anything with 7s. Got 7s locked in those two cells, but they're anywhere here. These two cells there, this column, and this column. So what about 8? Have we got any new development on 8? 8. Not really, no. 9s. Ah, 9 is now locked in here because of this 9 and that 9. So is that useful to us? It's also locked in these two cells, those two cells. Doesn't look super useful, but that's another round of kind of like hypothetical notation approach. And I think before I move on, I want to have a look at this pair again. So these are 2s and 8s, aren't they? Just in case they do something else special. 2, so 2s are locked in these cells, and 8s. No, 8s aren't going to do anything. So it's not a 2-8 something triple here, is it? I don't think so. So what can go in this cage? I've got 1s in these two cells. 2s can go anywhere. 5s can go in these. Ah, so that's 1 and 5. 1 and 5 are locked in the same 3 cells. 6. Didn't I say there's a triple somewhere? Oh no, the triple is in here, isn't it? 5. Oh, hang on. 5 and 6. 5 and 6. Oh, so yeah, that locks the 6s in those two cells now, and 5s are still in those 3. But I haven't got any other. Yeah, I haven't got anything else. Let's look at this quadruple anyway. Let's see. This is 2, 7, 2, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Got 2 and 9 now, so this is 7 and 8. But in fact, have I got 7 and something else locked in here? No, I don't think so. Oh, pardon me. 2, what was it again? 2, 7, 8, and 9. 9s. No, I don't think there's anything going on there. So this is 7 and 8, and I can't put a 7 in here, and this can't be a 7 and 8 because there's a, unless it's that 7 and 8 on this column, because that would be useful. That would give us a triple. So I think it's safe to say no, because there's at least a 7 or an 8 on each of the remaining rows. So I think it's time to move on, maybe. What's this triple? This is 4, 7, and 8. 4, 7, and 8. So 7s can only go in here. Oh, 4 and 7 sees that column, so that must be an 8 then, which means I've got 8s locked in there. So I've got 8s locked in these two columns, so 8s must be here in these two cells, which still doesn't. Oh, hang on, I already knew. Yeah, I knew that already. I knew those were 8s before because this is an 8-9 pair. So that's no use for us. Okay, so these are now 4s and 7s. Have we got anything that will hint to us where the 4 or the 7 can be? I don't think so. Okay, so let's move on. I don't think that 8 does anything else for us, unless I do a quick scan of, yeah, all the numbers. 1s. Nope, nothing going with the 1s, 2s. 2, 2. 2. Can't see any way 2s are special in any way whatsoever. 3s. Threes are all done anyway. Fours are over here. So I know these are 4, 7 and something, but it's not a triple necessarily. In fact, what am I missing in this cage? I'm missing 2s, 4s, 6s, 7s and 9s. Okay, so the 9s and 6s are in the same 3 cells. Anything else? No, so there's no triple going on in this cage. And these are 2, 4 and 7 and still can't release them. That's annoying. I was hoping that I was getting close. This cage is starting to look interesting though. So 1, 5. 1 and 5 are locked in the same cells. Are there anything else though, is the question. What am I missing? 1, 2. 2s are just... So 2 feels quite weak now. 2s and 8s are weak. So maybe there's something where they overlap. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. There are no 9s. So where else do 2s and 8s overlap? 2. It's just this row really. No, so we can't use the weak numbers to deduce this. Maybe it's time we move on to pencil markings, because I think I'm going to be getting stuck for ages. So let's do some pencil markings now. Let's give up. So these are 8s and 9s, we knew that. And that makes this a 1, 2, 4 triple. Okay, let's see now. These are now... Oh, I didn't look at this before, did I? This is 6, 8 and 9. I don't think I can deduce that. But I can pencil mark in the 2 6s here because of that 6 and this 6. So that means the 6s are up there as well. And down here. But there must be another pair of 6s. Yep, those are the 6s. All the 6s are done. 9s can go pretty much anywhere in this cage. So I don't really want to play with that. Oh, I missed that. This is a 6-9 pair. I was so focused on looking at these that I missed it. So that means... what are these? These are 2s. So 2s are now locked in these 2 cells. That unlocks a 2. So what else am I looking for? 2, 4. Oops. 2, 4 and 7. Yeah, so that unlocks a 2 as well. So that 2, we can probably do nothing with that. But I've got a pair now going on here, which are, if I'm not mistaken, 4s and 7s. And that means I've got a 4-7 pair here, which means these are now 1s and 8s. So making progress. I should have spotted a 6-9 pair early on, and I think I could have gotten further, but I just feel it's time to move on. When you don't spot it, it's not the end of the world. You know, it's just like, it's just a bonus if I'm able to solve a hard Sudoku with no pencil markings, but they're not given, so, oh yeah, that can be a 1 anyway, so, because of the pointed pair of 1s. So 1s, I think all the 1s are pencil marked in. 2s, can I do more of the 2s now? These are 2s and 8s. Oops. So 2, 2, 2. So that means I've got another pair of 2s there. What about the 8s? The 8s are kind of locked in a triple position, so that's not useful. And I think I looked at the, oops, I think I looked at this quadruple, haven't I? So, but I think that's sort of 2s pencil marked in now. So let's look at 4s. 4s. 4, 4, 4, got a pair of 4s down there. 4s can be anywhere up there. And, oh, 4s have to be in these 2 cells now, so that can't be a 4. In fact, these are 4s and 7s. Is that useful? Not really, no. But we definitely see, like, 4s and 7s are kind of, like, everywhere. There are lots of 4s and 7s kind of having relationships and forming little children of... pairs, 7s, so these are 7s. Aha, so that unlocks a 7 because 7s are now locked in the same. So when I unlock that 2, I could have deduced that 7 as a result. So, okay, does that 7 give us anything? Well, this cage is looking quite cluttered now. It gives us a pointed pair of 8 up here, which means not much really. So what am I missing in this cage? I'm missing 4s and 9s. I don't really want to touch them yet. So let's see, 8s. No, can't see anything else with 8. So 9s. 9s up here in these 3 cells. Huh, there's not much going on for 9s, so that's disappointing. So anyway, we've done, I think we've gotten to where we would normally be with pencil markings, and I think it's worth having a look at the puzzle, step back a little bit and look at the puzzle properly. So we've got a triple here, which is 4, 8 and 9. 4, 8 and 9, I've got 4 and 9 here, so that must be an 8, and that 8 locks in 8 and 6 up there. So this 8 doesn't help us much, but the 6 unlocks another 6 down here. So we've got a 4, 7 and 5 triple now, and 5 can't go in these 2 cells, so that unlocks the 5 and 4, and that unlocks the 4 up there, which releases the 4s and 7s, which is good. And I've got a single cell left here, which is a 9, so that locks a pointed pair of 9, sorry, a matching pair of 9s and 2s, which means this is a 7. So with that, I think that's all the 7's done. Yep, 7's are now done. Now 9, we can't put a 9 there anyway, so the 2s and 9s can be resolved, leaving me a 5 here on this row, and this 5 locks another 5 up there because I've got 2 columns taken, and the row takes up the 5, which releases the 1, and the 1s are now unlocked. And okay, where next? I'm sure, yep, so this is a 9 because of that 9 there, and that 9 unlocks the 6 and 9 there, which also unlocks a 9 up here. If we look at the columns and the row, that 6 unlocks the 6 over here. So I guess today's puzzle is actually quite easy under normal circumstances. So it was worth making it challenging for myself, if only I managed to solve it with no pencil markings. So I think these are all just collapsing now, so let's see. Now on the columns, I've only got 2 numbers left. Well, I've only got 1 number left per column basically, so what are they? This is a 2, and this, if I look at the cage, is an 8, and something must have cracked over here at some point, and I haven't cleaned. Oh no, it's on this row, isn't it? So this 2 locks a 2 down there, which unlocks the 2 and 8, which unlocks the 8 and 1, which unlocks the 1 and 4, and that's today's New York Times hard Sudoku, kind of partially with no pencil markings. And I think I could have done it with no pencil markings if I spotted if I spotted a 6-9 pair. I think I would have been able to do it. So I think it's time for bed for Elaine, if she's still awake, that is. But meanwhile, I am going to go get a cookie. I'm also going to stop and start the stream. Although actually, I'm going to try something different. I am going to edit the title and change it to just LA Times Sudokus. Because I realised yesterday that there are chapters. If you change your stream's title, it changes it into a chapter. And I wonder if you can export a chapter at a time to YouTube, because that would be amazing if we can. So I'm just going to switch to the title screen. Oh, I need to move that down a bit because, yeah, this no longer works as I like. Oh, I see. I've just made, because the whole thing is just a web page. So let's see. It's not locked anyway, so let's move it down a bit. And yeah, if anyone does web design, it's a pain in the ass to just quickly get a vertical alignment going on a web page. So I decided not to do it and just do it in OBS. Let me know when you find out if that works. If what works? Did I miss something? I'm curious now. What was I talking about? Oh, the chapter thing. Yes. Okay. So yeah, I will let you know. Meanwhile, I'm just going to have a little toilet break. And, oh, actually, maybe I should do a be right back. And in fact, can I change the text of be right back to something else easily? No, I can't. I need to edit the HTML. So, well, be right back. I'm just going to have a cookie and have a toilet break. I think Elaine has fallen asleep because she's unresponsive. So, okay, so I'm back with a cookie, with a chocolate chip cookie from Marks and Spencer's. Oh, some of it went down my... I was going to say some of it went down my throat, which is the right place for it to go down. Some of it went down my windpipe. That was a bit of ASMR eating for you. Okay, so let's look at today's LA Times Sudokus. I am going to speed solve. Well, I say speed solve, my kind of speed solve, which usually involves a lot of mistakes. So let's see how we get on. Come on. It's not low. Oh. Oh yeah. My internet's being slow because I am streaming. So my internet can't handle the bandwidth. So first of all, change the settings to get rid of highlights. So ones, can't see anything with ones actually, so I'm going to skip straight to twos. Two. Oh, can't see much with twos either. I can see a three though, so those are threes. What else have I got going for free? So yeah, that is correct. Three. So that's a pointer pair of three, so that must be a three as well. Fours. Fours is over here. Wow, this is tricky, but actually I can see a lot of nines, so let's have a look at nines. That's a nine. Nine. So, okay, 9 is being awkward now, so 8. 8 is up here. Wow, it's so tricky. Jesus. Why is today's easy so difficult? So that's another 7. Just trying to be thorough just to be sure. Okay, so Let's see, sixes, six, that's a six, which means that's a six as well. So that's another six. So fives, that's a five. Got five, that must be a five then. So this is a five, that's a five. And I've got a five locked up here. So these are twos and, well, they're twos and nines, and I can resolve them because there's a nine over there. So can I do more of the nines now? Yes. So that's all the nines done. I'm not seeing a huge amount with twos. That's a two though. So two, two, two. That's also a two, which unlocks a two there. So gradually they are opening up, which is good because now I've done all the twos. So I'm left with ones and threes. So that must be, oh, 1, 3 and 4 actually. So be careful there. Ones. So that's a one, that's a one, that's a one. Still can't unlock all the ones, but that's a 3. So the 3s are done. So just, oh, I've also got 8 as well. Oh, that is dangerous. If I had known that, I could start placing wrong numbers, assuming the wrong things. So that must be a 1, 4, 1, and that must be a 4, and that must be a 4 as well. So that's easy done. Oops. So medium. Come on, interwebs. Hurry up. We've got Sudokus to solve. I'm not going to break a world record if you don't load up quickly. Ah, someone buy me a better internet. Although that's not the real problem. The real problem is that I just can't get faster internet unless I go fibre optics, which is a different company. Okay. So, that's the one because, no, hold on. Yeah, that is a one. Oh. Because there's a pointed pair of ones up top. So that looks a 1 there. In fact, that has to be the 1. So 2s, can't see 2s, but 3's there. 3 is also here. 3, 3, 3, 3. So after so many days of like just being really slow with my Sudokus, it's nice to just kind of, oh, there are no 5s, that's interesting. So hopefully there are lots of 6s to fill in the gap. 6s have to be one of these two cells. So I've got 6s done. 7. 7s, are they being awkward? Yes, they are. They are being very awkward. 8. Yeah, hopefully today's speed solves kind of like in LA Times kind of redeems myself a little bit in terms of the kind of amount of times I've wasted for everyone the last few days. 9s. 9s, can't resolve them yet, so let's go back to the 1s. Do I need to break out pencil markings? Because I was hoping I don't have to, but if I'm doing this for speed, maybe I should. I'll do one more scan, because I'm not like trying to break any records, so I tell people that not very competitive, but it's more the fact that I know I'm really competitive, so therefore I purposely don't compete in anything, so that I can't show my competitive side, because my competitive side essentially just results in a lot of disappointments, both to my dad and myself. 8. I think I've just been that one massive disappointment to my dad, unfortunately. So actually, I've got my first 5 here now, so which means that's a 2, and this is a 4. And that 4 doesn't release anything else for us, does it? What about a 2? 2 unlocks a 2 there, 2 there. And I've broken a puzzle. What have I done? That's not a 7. So why did I put a 7 there? When did I put a 7 there is more the point. Oh boy. This is bad. So let's get rid of all of those, just in case. Hopefully, this is still fine. Yeah, I hope that's still fine. Oh my god. I've already botched up the puzzle, so that's good. Got that going for me. So this is a triple, so that must be a pair. So what is a triple? This is, in fact, let me just check the grid. Okay, no mistakes. That's good. I can continue. So these are 4, 5, and 8. Therefore, in fact, if they're 4, 5, and 8, no, 4, 5, and 8. So missing 2s and 4, 5, and 8, 2s and 7s. Damn it, can't resolve them. What's going on here then? Let's look at this cage again because I feel like something funky is going on. Yes, 4s and 7s are locked in these. Oh yeah, of course, this is a pair of 5s and 2s, so that can be resolved, which results in another 2 there, 2 there, 2 over here, 2 over there, and a 2. So that's all the 2's done. These are 5s and 7s. I've got nothing to give them away, if I'm honest. 7, 7, 7. Okay, so let's go back to scanning. I think I was scanning 7s before, so let's scan 8. 8, 8, 8. Nope, can't do anything. 8, 9s, 9s. 9s are in this cell because of this. Pardon me. Oops, didn't mean to put that in. That's exactly why I can't play competitive video games. Yeah, this is why. I mean, I don't mind playing competitive video games as long as I don't feel competitive, if that makes sense, even though I'm inherently competitive. But I play to just have fun, basically, and by forcing that mentality, it's helped me not get competitive, if that makes sense. This must be a 7 now, so this will be a 4, because these are 4, 5, and something, so 7 can go in there. And 7s are down here somewhere. So 7s are locked, so this must be a 7 as well, which means these are, no, I was going to put a 2 down, but it's not. It's 4s and 5s. Can't deduce them yet, but actually, yeah. Oh no, what was this before? It was 2. 4 can be placed because of these 2 4s, so I can place this 5 as well, which means nothing right now. So this is a 5, 3, 3, 5, so that's a pointer pair 3, so that's a 3, that's a 3, and I've got 3's locked in these cells. 3, 5, and 4. I've got no 4. Yeah, every once in a while I try to go back, but with a more casual attitude. Yeah, I think, so I was playing Overcook with my friend the last time they came around, which was last year. But when I keep dying, it's really hard not to get overly competitive. Yeah, constantly dying is not good. I think the best thing is just step away for a bit. And I think, so 5s are locked in these 2 cells actually. So that means there's a pair of 5s there as well. So what are these again? 1, 5 and 9. No, can't deduce that yet. So, oh, but I can deduce this 9. So, if that's a 9, then I've got a pair of 9s there. No, that's not giving me huge amounts, but I do have a pair of 8s and a pair of 8s. I was going to say, rock climbing has helped me a lot with my competitiveness as well. Even though for years, long before I started rock climbing, I already knew that I have a problem with being competitive. So, and my way of dealing with it was to not compete. But now that I have done a bit of rock climbing, got a bit of rock climbing behind me, it's kind of, I don't know, made me a bit more zen, I guess. And because basically rock climbing involves a lot of failures. It's a bit like Dark Souls. Rock climbing is the Dark Souls of games. Oh, you haven't played Dark Souls though, have you? So, but you must have heard the meme. Like something is the Dark Souls of something. I'm just going to finish my cookie first. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Dark Souls. You haven't played Dark Souls, so the reference may not make too much sense. But Dark Souls is basically a game about failure. Unless you're some sort of miraculously amazing video game player with like just, I don't know, amazing learning curves. But even if you play the game blind, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is a 9. If you play it blind, there's no way you could finish that without dying the first time you ever played it, because the world of Dark Souls is very unforgiving. And so for me, it's not just the world itself, it's also the fact that I'm not very good at video games. What have I got here? I've got a 189. So I've got 1 and 9 there, so that must be an 8. Yeah. So besides the world being unforgiving, I also am not very good at games, so that led to a lot of dying for me. But it's kind of okay because, just part of the journey anyway. You have to die in a journey because there are traps. So in some video games, in most video games in fact, just like in many action movies where, like any kung fu movies, bad guys always come in waves. They never all come up and gang up on you. And it's the same video games. If you, like even in God of War, like a lot of games have kind of like adopted some sort of Dark Souls elements to it by kind of like changing the perspective and changing the kind of the feel of the game with the dodging, and the kind of like the way, I don't know, it's just like the shield and the feel of the games. A lot of it's changed to be more like Dark Souls. But one of the quintessential parts of Dark Souls is that the enemies don't take their turn to attack you. So if you play the Batman series games by, what's the studio that made Batman's? I can't remember now. But basically, it's basically a rhythm game, as they called it at one point. It's a rhythm game that they disguised as a fighting game, because it's all about kind of got 5 here, which unlocks the 4 and 5 pair, which also unlocks this 4. Yeah, they're basically just kind of the enemies wait their turn. You just need to react to what's going on the screen, and yeah, the Arkham series. Yeah, it's just basically timing. Basically, you hit the buttons, but you'll notice like one of the things about one of the, not like, I guess, passive abilities, but basically if you just mash the attack button, you don't get the bonus points. You get the streaks by timing your attacks one after another. So each punch should be when Batman actually punches someone. And yeah, it's basically a rhythm game designed to look like a fighting game. And part of that is, to achieve that, part of the thing is the mobs, they kind of stay behind. They don't all come at you at the same time, because if they did, then there's no way you can kind of like come out on top. And it's a bit of a power fantasy thing as well. It makes Batman seem a lot more impressive than he really is, because 2/3 of the enemies aren't actually attacking you at the same time anyway. Only 2 or 3 enemies will ever be en route to actually attacking you. So Dark Souls doesn't do that. Dark Souls is like, well, if I'm trying to kill this guy, I'm gonna attack them. Oh, it's basically a rhythm game. I'm gonna do pencil markings for hard, so I don't spend too long on it. So the enemies, in order to achieve the rhythm game and the power fantasy thing where Batman is like so amazing and can react to all the fights, the enemies take their turn to attack. But Dark Souls doesn't do that. They just basically, if you're open, they see an opening, they get close to you, they think it's time to attack you, they will attack you. They don't coordinate with each other in that sense. They don't kind of like think, oh, someone else is attacking you, so therefore I should wait my turn to attack you. No. They basically do their own cycles, and if they have finished the animation cycle and they think, okay, I would normally attack now, and they are close enough to attack you, they will attack you. So that means you need to think about the world a lot. You don't want to get into fights that you can't win. Oh, I forgot to do pencil markings because I'm still in no pencil marking mode. Let's do some pencil markings. Sorry about that. Oh, it's maybe because I can't actually do much pencil markings. So let's see. Have we got anything with 3s that I can pencil mark in? Yes, I can. Oops. I can pencil mark in the 3s. There we go. So some pencil markings. So yeah, it is rough. Like, there's no power fantasy in Dark Souls unless you're just an amazing player. For like the speedrunners and the people who are just, you know, who fine-tune the game, who can do like one no-hit runs and things like that. Yeah, by that point it's not a power fantasy. It's just that you are just a very powerful player because you're so good at the game. But in general, the game is just kind of very unforgiving. If you make a mistake, you will suffer the consequences. It's quite rare. I mean, it does happen, but it's kind of like an exception to the rule. If you make a mistake and get away with it, quite often you make a mistake, you get punished for them. Especially fighting the bosses. Sorry, that's meant to be a pair of 9s because that unlocks a 9 here and a 7. And does it do anything else? No. Let's stay with the 9s for a second because I think there may be more that I can do. Oh, I keep forgetting which thing I'm on. So those are 9s now. So I think that's the final pair of 9s. Okay, so that's all the 9s pencil marked in, I think. So yeah, let's go back to the 8. But that's kind of a good thing with Dark Souls because it changes the way you think about the world, basically. And in a way, it changed the way you think about life. I came across I don't know if you watch much video. Sorry, not video. Yeah, videos on YouTube. But okay, point a pair of 4s and these 2s locks a 2 there, and unlocks a pair of 2s as well. But there's a guy on YouTube called Nakey Jakey. I came across him because I was looking at I was really into Dark Souls, so I decided to look up videos talking about how amazing Dark Souls is to reinforce my biases, to give me talking points to regurgitate about how amazing Dark Souls is. But what really struck me was he kind of echoed another sentiment that someone else had shared about Dark Souls, which is it was life-changing basically because I think Nakey Jakey played Dark Souls when he was in quite a low period of his life, and he kind of like, at first I think he didn't like it at first. I can't remember too much of it now. This is part of my kind of like poor memory showing. I can't remember exactly like what his journey was, but I can't imagine him enjoying it too much at the beginning. But then there was something that kept calling him back, and I think he's definitely one of the people who mentioned the war that you break with Dark Souls. And once he got past that war, you kind of get it. You get what Dark Souls is about, and Dark Souls to me is about failure, but persistent as well. Because if you persist through your failures, you have to understand where your failure is to start with. So I've got 2 6s here and a 6, so that unlocks a 6 and 5. So that unlocks another pair of 5s there, and that's the end of that, I think. But I do have another 6 down here because of these 2 6s, and that's 6. So that unlocks a 1 as well, and the 1 doesn't unlock anything else. What about the 6? 6 is now locked in here as well. So I've only got 6s in these 2 cells now. Brilliant. So those are most of the 6s done. So yeah, you know, for most people, they give up on Dark Souls after realizing, holy shit, it's such a difficult game. But actually, the game is not that difficult if you approach it differently. So, like I said, the enemies are unrelenting. They will gang up on you and destroy you if you let them. And the key is if you let them, and that's where your mentality has to change. Well, why do you keep dying to the enemies? Because you're running headfirst into the fight, thinking that you are an all-powerful person, thinking you're a superhero and you can just beat down every single person, but you're not. You're just, oh, the 4, the pointed pair 4. Is this a pointed pair 4? Yes, it is. So this is a 147 triple, and that a snooker maximum break there. So that means these are 8s and 9s, and that means I still can't open up any 8s. It does mean these are 8s as well, but I still can't open up the 8s. So still haven't got a single 8 on this grid, and it also gives me a triple of 4, 7, and 2. 2, 4, and 7. 7 can't go here. 4. No, I've got nothing else going for me. What was I saying? Can't remember now, but basically, you're not a superhero in Dark Souls. So you got to think about, well, if people are ganging up on me, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to tackle one enemy at a time, because in the world of Dark Souls, you're not a superhero. You're just another pleb who's trying to get somewhere. You've been put on this journey, and you're just trying to figure out, what the hell am I doing here? Why everything? Why am I here? Why am I in this world? Because you're actually dead. You're a dead person who's been kind of like revived as a zombie, so to speak, basically. You are the... I can't remember what you are. There's a name for them. You're a hollow or something like that. And so the world is like really cryptic, like figuring out the storyline. I never figured out the storyline. Oh, this 9 unlocks... unlocks the 9 there and a 9 there. So are all the 9s unlockable? Because... no, I've got 2 pairs of 9s. So, okay, there is something happening here. I wonder if I need it, but I'll come back to this later, this 8-9 pairing in a bit. So this is a 5 and 8 pair on the row, so this must be an 8 and that must be a 5, which unlocks the 8, which unlocks an 8. And what about the 5s? So 5s are now up, oops, 5s are now up here and down here. These are 5s and 1s, 1, 2 and 5, and these are also 1, 2 and 5, but I've got 1 and 2, so that must be a 5, which means that's a 5, that's a 1, that's a 6. And that one unlocks the 1 and 2, and on this column we have just an 8 left, so that unlocks the 8, 4 and 9. And that 9 unlocks the 9 and 8 over there as well, and that 8 locks a pair of 8s here. What have I got here? I've got 4 there, which unlocks another 4, unlocks a pair of 4s. This is not a 4 anymore, so I think that's all I can do with it. So yeah, basically by reapproaching the way I tackle the world of Dark Souls, I was able to complete Dark Souls 1 and 3. I didn't really enjoy Dark Souls 2 too much. The look is just not as pretty as Dark Souls 1 to me. Even though kind of like Dark Souls 1 is just something else. It's like, it's very low resolution. The texture qualities are really low, so it's quite weird. I think I used some mods to play on the PC to make it look better, but it actually gives it a very weird quality about it, and it actually fits the look. I don't know, it fits the feel of the game a lot. I've got 1, 4, 5 triple there, and I've got 4 and 5 there, so that must be a 1, which unlocks the 1, 4 and 7 there. That unlocks the 7, 8 and 2, which unlocks the 2 there, a 2 there. So that unlocks the 5 and 1, which unlocks the 4, 8 and 1, which unlocks the 8. And have I broken a puzzle? Because yes, I have. That's not a 2, that's a 5, but that's still a 2, that's a 5, and that's finally a 4. No, I've still broken it, so that's not... oh, hang on, what's going on with the numbers? Oh, sorry, it's 5 and 8, like that. My bad. So yeah, just gotta... I don't know, I didn't enjoy the Dark Souls 2's kind of art direction more than anything, I guess. It's just very blocky to me, I suppose. Yeah, it's very hard to describe. Maybe I need to make a video about that at some point. I do like the idea of getting into doing analysis videos about pop culture media and stuff like that, but it doesn't help if I have voice dysphoria, and I think making a video with these kind of crackly voice changer voices is not going to bode too well, so oh, get rid of that. Anyway, but yeah, Dark Souls, for Nakey Jakey, it changed his life because he kind of like it made him reevaluate the way he approached the world as well, the way he looked at failures, and and in the end, yeah, I think it kind of helped him a lot. And he made an entire video by just like laying in bed. And the craziest thing is like, I don't know if other people can empathize with it, but I certainly did, because he made an entire video where he was just lying in bed, talking into the microphone, and it really kind of like resonated with me, because I kind of like drifted into a deep depression when I was at university. It was kind of like, basically, I realised at that point in life that it was a second year university for me, and I realised, actually, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do computer science for the rest of my life, because all I've done was all I was going to do was fixing other people's code. I was just going to let people walk over me, and other people get to do the creative things, and I would just spend my life just fixing other people's mistakes, and that's not the life that I wanted to live. So, but like, I didn't know how to approach it, because I had to tell my dad about it, basically, and long story short, he didn't let me, but it, like, building up towards that, I wrote a really long email to my dad. Bless him, he never replied to that email. And it took many years for us to mend our relationship as well. Not just because of the email, but there were lots of things going on. But I just felt completely powerless in my life at that point. And I think, had Dark Souls been released at that point in my life, it would probably have been quite life-changing. If I was able to get through the wall and really appreciate Dark Souls, then I think I could have kind of like pulled myself out of depression sooner, but I didn't, and but I basically spent about 2 weeks just laying in bed. I just kind of like cried in bed all day. I think I spent a solid day literally just crying, and my housemate at the time was just like, "Is it me? Is it?" It was quite funny. It's fine. It's a long time ago, and I'm sharing this because, you know, this is kind of my personal experience about mental health issues, I suppose. I know there's a massive stigma around mental health issues for some people. I think by and large, I think the world has become aware that, you know, mental health is an important aspect of life. Basically, you need to look after your mental health. Like, if anyone's listening and you feel powerless, reach out to people, even if you don't think they are, that, you know, people, your impression of other people may not be true. Like, you may think that people don't care, but and it may be that some people don't because of different reasons. Maybe they're dealing with their own things in their life, maybe they just aren't very empathetic, but there are people who genuinely care, and you know, reach out to people, because you never know what may happen. You never know. I have made friends during my depressions that kind of like really helped me kind of like change my life around as well, like change the way I saw. Funny enough, one of my friends at the time, her name was Elaine. She's from Ireland, and she basically kind of like essentially snapped me out of it, because I basically felt like my dad was in control of my life, and actually no, I think she told me this before, while into the depression. No, it's like, no, that was the period of my life. I was telling Elaine about kind of like would be me kind of situation, what my situation was. So I've got a triple here, so I might as well pencil mark them in. And a lot of it was basically, oh, this is a 2 because 3 and 6 are there, so there's a 6 there now, so therefore that's a 3 and that's a 6, which means I've got 2 free pair. That can't be a 3 anyway. These are 5s and 7s. Yeah, Elaines are usually the best. I don't know many Elaines, I have to say. I did meet one Elaine that kind of like burns me a little bit, but that was kind of work related, and it's not really her intentionally burning me, but she was in a really difficult position, and she made the choice that was best for her, and I'm glad she made that choice, because you should look out for yourself. Actually, 3's over there because the 3 is locked in here thanks to that 3, so that forms another triple of 2, 8 and 6. No, 2, 8 and 7. And if that's a triple of 2, 8 and 7, then this must be a 4. Okay, let's move on. And with that 4, I can place a 4 over there. But yeah, I felt powerless in my life at the time, and I do think, like, if I had Dark Souls at the time, it would have changed my mentality a bit, because failure is only a bad thing if you don't learn from it. In most situations, obviously, sometimes failures do mean life and death, because some things you only have one chance in life. But there's all the more reason that you should experience as much failure as you can in your life that you can recover from, basically, because if you don't, then when time comes to shove that you really need to make or break, and you're not prepared for failure, then it can have a really detrimental effect on your ability to kind of like do what need must, basically, when you need to, because if you've always avoid the failures, then how are you gonna approach something where that there is a lot on the line. And the other thing about failure is, like, you will find in time that most failures in life is not a big deal. Really, it's not. Most of the failures in life are things that you can recover from, and only by letting yourself experience that will you kind of get that perspective, I guess. Okay, what's going on here? I've got a 3, 4 and 2. That can't be a 4, but it can be a 2 as well, so give me 2 and 3. So I'm missing a 2 in this cage. 2 and 7 in this cage. Oh, pardon me. So actually, I am going to pencil mark these in because they're not too cluttered. Oh, it's not 6. Why am I putting 6 in? Those can't be 6s. It's 2 and 7 that I wanted to put in because it's not too cluttered. Oh, hang on, this can't be a 3 anyway, so I don't know why I still had a 3 there. So there's still a 2 to be placed in this cage. So does that mean this is a, let's see, no, this can't, so I haven't pencil marked in 7 yet in this cage either. Let's come back to that later. But yeah, I think that's where Dark Souls comes in, basically, because Dark Souls allow you to experience failure. Okay, I've got breakthrough. 5 and 7 down here. These are 5s and 7s, so I've got 5, 7 pair. So therefore, this is a quadruple of 2, 3, 6, and 9. So let's see. 2, 3, 6. 2, 3, 6, and 9. 2, 3, 6, and 9. That's these are 6. Oh, it doesn't see a 2. 3 and 9. So that's 2 and 6. No, the 2s are killing me at the moment. So let's it's not quite the breakthrough that I wanted. But yeah, basically Dark Souls, you're gonna die a lot, but then you kind of get used to it. You realise, okay, I died, but actually it's not that much of a deal, because the way it works is you have these resources called souls. It's basically the in-game currency. You use souls for buying stuff, as well as upgrading your character to level up, and you can build it up, which is a kind of risk reward situation. You can build it up for more expensive things. If you die, you don't lose. You don't lose all your, well, you lose all your currencies. You lose all your souls to start with, in a sense that your souls are left at where you died, basically. So, in order to recover, you need to go back to where you died to recover your souls. So you're now presented with a dilemma. If you make the exact same mistake as before, you're probably gonna die at the same place. You can basically you just need to like go to your bloodstain, press a button, and it'll recover your souls. And if you die again, it means you have to repeat the same journey to get back to where your souls are. So in an ideal situation, you will learn from, well, why did I die? Well, I got ganged up on. How can I kind of like improve my odds of not getting ganged up on? And you start kind of like formulating plans on how to reapproach things. Whereas if you just run in, trying to get to your bloodstain, if you try to rush through things and get back to your bloodstain, what you're probably going to find is you get enemies following you. They don't follow you throughout an entire map, but they do follow you a fair bit of distance. So if you just run through your enemies, you will find a big mob behind you, and that's not what you want, unless you're just doing a boss rush. Because there are times when it is good to just like run past everything. So you just need to learn to dodge, basically. And but yeah, you have to kind of like evaluate, why am I? Yeah, exactly. You do need strategy, planning, and so it's kind of like Witcher 3 in a way, but more so, because Witcher 3, you don't have to do a huge amount of planning. I think there's only one enemy in the game that you have to use a specific sign to make them visible so that you can attack them, but everything else you can brute force your way through. But with Dark Souls, there are ways of playing. Once you get familiar with the game, it's still ultimately just a game, so once you get the quirks of the game, you can still get around that. But as a first-time player, you really need to kind of think about what you're doing. And the best part is like, okay, you died at a spot, and then you go back. Well, now you're familiar with the environment, so in theory it should be easier. But the problem is like, in order to venture further out, in order to get familiar with the rest of the map, you have to venture further out. You have to get out of your comfort zone. And so there's a lot of parallels in Dark Souls versus real life, because if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you will never progress in the game. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're going to die over and over. You're going to fail over and over. And so why did I talk about Dark Souls in the first place? I can't remember now, but basically Dark Souls is a good game. And oh yeah, I was talking about rock climbing. Rock climbing is the Dark Souls of sports, because you're going to fail a lot at climbing, because basically even the best climbers in the world will fail constantly, because there's always a harder problem. There's always a harder boulder for you to climb. There's always a harder route for you to tackle. Every single route, boulder problem is different, it's unique. And so you can get familiar with certain techniques, but you'll never get familiar with every single problem in the world by just sitting at home or just going to your local gym. You need to get out of your comfort zone, and you just need to climb, and you need to experience failure. You need to come off the wall and try again, basically. And you need to learn from it, because if you don't learn from your failure at climbing, yes, sometimes you can brute force your way through for the easier problems, but when you're trying problems at your absolute limit, you have to understand why you are not able to progress. And this is the great thing about indoor climbing, because indoor climbing, there's an intended way, because people have to set the problems, and there's an intended way of solving the problem. It's not just random rock features outdoors where someone figured out a way to go up. There's like good setters tend to guide you into a specific technique that you have to use to get to easily surpass the crux of the problem, basically. And that's what's great about rock climbing. So rock climbing is the Dark Souls of sports for that reason. I'm sure there are other sports that are the same. There are definitely parallels to Dark Souls. You can find parallels with other sports with Dark Souls, I'm sure, but I cannot think of a game, sorry, a sports that's more likened to Dark Souls, which is why I'm a strong advocate of rock climbing as a kind of therapeutic exercise, as a therapeutic sport, and as a sport for mental health in general, because it's just perfect for that. So let's get back to some Sudokus, because I've done a lot of talking again and kind of stopped. So we've got quadruple here. I feel I'm just going to fill in the entire grid now, because it feels like I might as well fill in these cells. So 2s and 7s, 2 7s and what is it? 2 7 and 5 are missing in this. No, 5. I've already pencil marked in 4, 5 and 6, so just 2s and 7s that I need to pencil mark in. So let's do that. And it looks like, yeah, that's not super cluttered. I've got one cell that has a large number in, but it's not too bad, I suppose. But that hasn't revealed any triples for us, so that's disappointing. So I guess whatever magic this puzzle has, it's going to be in this cage somewhere. So let's have a look then. 5s can go everywhere. 1, 2, haven't pencil marked in 2s either. 2s can go on these 2 columns. Oh yeah, I've already eliminated the 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Aha! No, 9's in these 2 cells. So it's a 2, 5 and 7s that I need to pencil mark in. And I'm trying to see if there's some sort of like relationship with 2, 5 and 7. Ah, so this is a 2 and 7, because I've got 2, 5, 7 triple here, but I've got 5 there, so that must be a 2 and 7. That leaves me a 2, 7 pair. So therefore this can't be a 2 anymore, which isn't that useful. Oh, it can't be a 7 either, of course, yeah, because I've got 2, 7 pairs. So this must be an 8, which resolves the 8 here and the 4 here. So let's follow the 4s. 4s resolves that. Is that definitely a 6 now? Yes. So that leaves me a 2, 7 pair. It also resolves the 4 over here, and that's sort of 4's done. What about a 6? Does a 6 open up any doors for us? No, it doesn't, because I've got the 6's locked in those cells. So 2, 7, so I've got 3, 6 and 8. I've got 3 and 6 there. Sorry, 3, 6 and 9. I've got 3 and 6 on that column, so that has to be a 9. And with that 9, we can produce another 9 down here, and another 9, and that resolves the 7s. Oh, I've got 7, 2 pair there as well, so these can't, so that unlocks the 5 and 6. And that can't be a 7 anymore, so 2s and 7s are unlocking themselves. So this is now 2 and 5. And this is also a 7, which unlocks the 2 and 7s there. So what am I left with? I'm left with a 2 over here, which means this is a 2. So 6 and 3 are resolved. That resolves the 5, 3 and 6 there. And I've got a 5 in here. So 7s and 5s. That's 7 will unlock the 5, 7, 5 and 7. And that's today's LA Times Expert Sudoku. So let's do another edit on the title to split it into another chapter. So New York Times mini crosswords update. Okay, oops. So let's move on to New York Times crosswords, mini crosswords. And I think I've got a screen specifically for that. So games, mini crosswords. Let's see how we do today. So lifelong power. Oh wow, that's a big one today. Lifelong power. Interesting. I know it's besties. Oh, is it BFF? Indenting key. Interesting. China's largest e-commerce is it Tintin? Oh no, that doesn't look like it. Largest e-commerce tab indenting key is a tab. How is that a tab? Why is tab an indenting key? Not too sure I understood that, but largest e-commerce community. Oh, e-commerce. So it's actually, yeah, Tintin is the game company, isn't it? So, oh no, it's a social media platform. So it's not e-commerce. I can't think of what that would be. Wager I can't miss. Sure win. Self-image. Reflection. No idea. Health expert. Given 2,000 employee. That's Fauci, isn't it? So Anthony Fauci. So like a bright night. What? 10 across eagle. Oh, that's clever. So irritate, annoy, nag, show, overwhelming favourites. Actually, can I ask that you hold off on the clues for now? Let me get stuck first because I think I tend to get a bit further with the mini crosswords, and hopefully I can actually do them. But if I get stuck, I'll definitely ask for help. So, overwhelming favourites. Hold on, that's a sure win as well. Overwhelming favourites. So, I wonder if the other sure win is wrong in that case. So, some undergraduate degrees. So, bachelor degrees. What is a bachelor degree? How? So, I think this is not a sure win. Bachelor degree. How do you spell it? BS something. BSc or something? No. I'll come back to that one. Reason for seasonal short flu. Alternative to Chrome or Firefox. Oh, okay. So this is actually not Anthony Fauci. Because Fauci doesn't fit in there anyway. That's very interesting. I would have thought that would have been Fauci. So unless it's like initial and then Fauci. Come back to that. Salad of finely chopped bulgur, parsley, tomato, and mint. Yeah, it starts with a T. Salad of finely chopped. Come back to that. Father of the marvelous Mrs. no idea. Dracula's out of form is a bat. Started with a G. Started. Come back to that. Government agency with notoriously long lines. Is that the D driver D something? It'd be something to do with driver license. Can't remember what it's called. Fish eggs. Sack? No. Bangles on a sports ticker. Oh man. So it's all good. Sure bet. So actually, I think this is be something else. China's largest Alibaba. That's the one. So it's 8. So Tibu. I only heard of Alibaba because I started following these what do you call it? YouTube channels and Reddits for hardware news or hardware review, basically tech YouTube channels when I wanted to upgrade my computer. So because I got quite a bit of money for my birthday, being my 40th this year, and well, I'm really telling lots of information. I bet internet sleuths can work out who I am quite easily now. But I got a fair bit of money, so I thought I'd upgrade my graphics card. And then later on in the year, I kind of thought I'm going to use some of my savings to upgrade my entire computer, basically, to go with the new graphics card. So I ended up like looking up, is it a good time to buy? You know, what graphics card should I buy? And I kind of realised it's not a good time to buy because a new card was going to be released within a few months. Now the card has been released by Nvidia, but I can't buy it because there are no stocks. So That's really disappointing. I do think this is Fauci, so I think it's maybe D.A. Fauci, unless that's not an A. Maybe, oh, actually, maybe this is that how you spell Fauci? That doesn't look like that's right. Anthony Fauci. It's going to be A, isn't it? Oh, spell it wrong. F-A-U. There we go. Started, began. So I guess it'll be oh, Dr. Fauci. That would make sense because that would be the D. Is it DEA office? Driver's license something. Or DLA? I don't know. So irritate. Oh, ends with an X. May have to come back to that. So, why do I think that's ITS? It's all good. What's this? Like a bright night. What's this? Fish eggs. C. Like mangoes on sports sticker. Salad of finely chopped tomatoes, parsley and mint. I would have gone for like salsa or something like that, but it's not, is it? Okay, I think I do need help now, so I think that's wrong. I don't think that's DLA. What is the agency? Driver License Agency. Is that what DLA stands for? Notoriously long lines. Fish eggs. Oh, DMV. So that's Vex then. Like a bright night. Moonlit. Aha. And that. I still don't know what this is. Typical. This is going to be something I don't know. So it's still working. Show. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I have no idea what this is. Should I Google this salad? Is it multiple words? Short ends. Ah, okay. Not far off. So, is this not Vex? Is it like Vix or... What's this? Fish eggs. I would have thought that... Oops. I would have thought that would be Vex. So, should I check the bottle? Yeah. That has to be moonlit. Unless it's like Doctor, because 12D is roll. Oh, okay. So, moonlit ends. So, what's BFF? Alibaba, sure, that's BFF. I can't think of what is wrong. Should I do a check? Can't believe I'm still stuck on this because I don't know this word. I don't know that word. I didn't know this word. So yeah, let's I'm conscious of the delay, so I'm gonna wait and see if you're okay with me doing the check. I guess so. I don't know what could even be wrong. Besides 4D. Yeah. Unless I spell Alibaba. Oh, Alibaba. It's not Alibaba. So, what the hell is this? Tabbouleh. Tabbouleh. Never heard of it. Well, there we go. That looks very much tomatoey, mint. What else was in it? Parsley and bulgur. I don't even know what bulgur is, to be honest. Not much of a chef. Oh, I did use this stuff for yeah, they're like couscous, but they're different. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, we've been using this thing that delivers us the ingredients for food for meals. Guess I need to widen my salad horizons. Yes, salad is meant to be good, but I find they don't tend to fill me up. So let's see, network for Meadow and Matthews. What? I guess that's a TV network. So like 10 and 10 and 11 half 11. So complete, full, I don't know, unclear, vague. Slowed down with speed up. Resident of Stockholm. Stockholm, isn't that German? Or is it? No, it's not, is it? Is it the Dutch? No, how do you spell Dutch? That's probably wrong. And in fact, I'm questioning all of these actually. Much internet humour, that's memes, isn't it? Something Valley, home of occupation for Florence Nightingale, writer, poet, Florence Nightingale. That's a writer, isn't it? Word that can precede Alaska or potato. Sweet? Aha, so it's not vague. Is it sweet? Oh no, hold on. Wait a second. Is this... No, I'm thinking about Alabama, Sweet Home Alabama. So, white Alaska. Because Alaska is quite cold, isn't it? So, Bonnie and Clyde. Oh my god. No, this is not white in that case. So, I do think this is speed in that case. So, unclear. Cloudy? Nope. It's all this double meaning that screws me over. So much internet humour that has an S. Sarcasm, memes, GIFs. No. That's not a poet. Hold on. Is Florence Nightingale... I'm sure they're a writer, not a singer. Still, word that can precede Alaska or potato. Sweet Alaska. Because I feel like sweet can now go in. Come on. Sweet Home Alaska. Sweet Alaska song. Sweet, sweet Alaska. But are these actually... Let's try it. Sweet. MSNBC maybe? So, what could this be then? Watching internet humour. This really makes me think it's memes. We should break. Slowed down with up. Oh! Eased up. Then that can fit memes in it. Resident of Stockholm. I think this is completely wrong. Unclear. Murky. Murky would be unclear. Oh, I don't... Hold on. Let's check it. Right, so Sweet Alaska is wrong. So I did think that. So I think this is murky. Not murky. So what does that give me? Still don't know what that is. Occupation of... Oh, Florence Nightingale as a nurse. That makes more sense. MSN... Oh, that's not a B. MSN... What other channel is there? How can there not be a B? Oh, I replaced that with sweet, didn't I? So it's... Yeah, it's MSNBC. So baked potato. So this is now sweet. So I just need to work out these two words, like 10 out of 10 or something valley. Oh, equal. Phew! Oh! That was more difficult than it should have been. So at least I kind of knew the words once I worked out what was wrong. But I didn't work out what was wrong myself. I had to get a hint for that. So I think that's all the New York Times done. I don't think there's any LA Times crosswords. LA Times just seems a bit rubbish in general. What's going on here? Why is that grayed out? Back to all games for LA Times, so you can't see at the moment. So let me switch. Daily crosswords and the mini crosswords. So daily crosswords. Welcome to daily crosswords, and nothing loads up. I have encountered this before. None of them loads up for me. So there's also an impossible Sudoku thing that has never loaded for me. Welcome to our free impossible Sudoku games. Fill in each square. It's never worked for me. Actually, I'm going to try it on my new phone. Oh yeah, I got my new iPhone 12 now, so very happy with it. I was very skeptical of the Face ID thing before, and I have to say, it is definitely working for me. But of course, that's not going to work well when I go to the shops with my mask on. LA Times, impossible Sudoku. Because I wonder if it's just like my ad blocker, maybe my browser is not supported or something, but I've never managed to load it and I really wanted to try it out. So let's try it on my phone on Safari and see if that works. But it's so nice to finally have a phone that doesn't heat up when I use it for intensive tasks. And battery life is good so far. And yeah, the Face ID is surprisingly good. Oh, it's showing me a black square, which is... Hold on, let me switch to... Oh no, I'm still getting used to the gestures. Oh my god, it does load, so it just doesn't work in Firefox. How rubbish is that? Let's try Chrome in that case. So let's see, Chrome... No, I don't want to set it as a default browser because LA Times, impossible Sudoku. I did not know that I have been missing impossible Sudoku because of my browser. Because I turned it off all the ad blockers for LA Times and it still doesn't work. So let's see if I can get it working. Oh god, that means I have to duplicate. Come on, Chrome. Are you gonna load up? Nope, that didn't load for me either. I'm not using Internet Explorer for this. Is there some inbuilt... Hold on, let me find... Where are my extensions? I don't even have an ad blocker on my Chrome. So Chrome is also not supported. What the hell? What browser do I need to use then? Oh, I just realised, I think Jack must have raided another channel, so I didn't even realise that. Let's see. LA Times impossible Sudoku browser compatibility. There's no mention of that, so it just doesn't load for me, and I don't understand why. I'm still using the Wi-Fi, so it's not my network. Oh, let's try Microsoft Edge. No, I do not want to set you as no thanks. No, I don't want it to be a default browser. It'll be really stupid. No thanks, I don't want personalized adverts. Like, you can see adverts at the... Oh, you can't see it, but I can see adverts at the bottom of the screen. So it's finished loading in Edge, and it doesn't work. It doesn't show up. So I can't share it. Okay, I'll tell you what. What I would do then is go to the puzzle on my phone. What I'm going to do is use Sudoku Exchange to build the puzzle. Duplicate tab. Let's see, new puzzle. Okay, so let's see, go to LA Times, enter new puzzle. No, I want to go to Sudoku Exchange, which I need to update to include the Sudoku. So let's see. Window, copy, Sudoku Exchange. No, I don't want to paste a reference. I want to do a window capture. Add source. Add an original source. And I want Sudoku Exchange window. Okay. And I want to capture it for Sudoku Exchange. There we go. And I want to make it a bit smaller so that fits on the screen. There we go. That works okay, doesn't it? And you can see that, can't you? So, okay, so let's have a look. What is the puzzle then? We've got a 9 there, a 2, oops, a 2 there, 2 there as well, 7, 3, 9. Also, I'm going to change the title again on the stream to call it LA Times Impossible Sudoku. Update. So what else have I got? I've got a 6 over there, 7, 9, 8, 2, 1, 1, 9, 4, 3, 5, 2, 7, 9, 6, 5, 1. In this case, I wonder if I'm better off doing the impossible Sudoku every day and start. Okay, so let's see. This is supposedly the impossible puzzles, so we can put a pair of ones there. Yep, yay! Sudoku Exchange indeed is the best app for Sudokus. So 2s, we can place a 2 already. Place another 2, got a pair of 2s there. Actually, those 2s can be resolved. 3, can't do anything with 3s. Can't do anything with 4. Oh, got a pair of 4s there, mind you, and a pair of 4s there. So anything else going on? No. 5s. On the upside, the app is good, so it'll be a lot. If I still make mistakes, then it's just my own fault. 6s are down here. Oh, this is a 5-6 pair. Oh my god, look at that. I can do center pencil marking. So these are 1s and 3s. So with that, I can place a 3 and 4 there and a 4 there. So the 4s are opening up now. I've got another 4. So these are 4s, and anything else? No. What about the 1s? Oh, this can be resolved as an 8. And if that's an 8, I've got another 8 and 6 there. And the good thing about this is I can show people my logic. Like, what am I actually doing? Well, this is a pair of 6s and 8. And this is 5s and 7s. But I've got 7 down here. So 5 and 7 can be resolved. So that means 5s are there. So 5 has to be here as well. 7s are in these 2 cells. I've got a triple here anyway. So this is 5, 7, and 1. That can't be a 7. That gives me a pair of 3s and 3's an 8, therefore this must be a 1. And if that's a 1, then these are 1s as well. So see how much easier this is. 2's are all done. 3's. I've now got a 3 over there. Anything else going on with the 3's? No. 4's. 4, 4. Oops. 4, 4, 4. 5's are here. And anywhere else for the 5's? No. So let's move on to 6's. I don't think we've looked at 6's yet. So not much to do with the 6's, I don't think. No. 7's. So 7 should be useful. So that's a 7, which means these are 7's. Those can't be 7's because of that 7. So I've got 7's locked in those cells. So I'm not going to pencil mark those in yet. Hang on a sec. That doesn't make... Yeah, it does make sense. So that's a 7. What about 8? Let's do the opposite as last time. Let's just place where a number can be. Well, it can't be there anymore, so that must be an 8. And therefore, these are 8s. Therefore, those are 8s as well. So 8 and 6 are resolved. And this is now a 5-8 pair, which means it can't be a 4 anymore. Oh, damn it. So now I've got another pair of 4s over there. So that being 5 and 8, can we unlock anything here? I've got 1 3. Okay, that has to be a 3 because of these 2 3's, and I've got 1 and 6. But I've got 6 there, so 1 and 6 and 1. No, hold on, that can't be right. Oh yeah, so in here it is a 1 and 6, but yeah, of course, it's different on a column, so this can't be a 1. Instead, I can place a 1. This can't be a 1 anymore. So what am I missing on this column? It is a 9. So that's a 9. Then that has to be a 9 as well, resulting in 9 and 8. So the 9s has to go there now, and that's a 4. Which means the 4s are locked in these cells. I've got a 6, I think. 6 there. So these are actually 4s and 3s. And where else can the 3s go? 3. Okay, so I've got 3, 7. Have got anything else locked in there? So the way I look at this is look at this column and see if they... So 8, 9, 2 are in this cage already. So I only got 3 and 7. So that means there's no triple there. 1 and 5 there. That makes sense. 3, 4, 3, 4 and 6. So 6s have to go in these 2 cells anyway. But if we look at up here, 6s are in those 2 cells. So 6s are not locked down just yet. But I do have a pair of 1s in this cage. So let's see. Let's do all the pencil markings now because I think we can do that. But it doesn't feel very impossible to me because with just basic Snyder notations, we have gotten really far with it. 5s are awkward, so 6s, maybe, yeah, maybe it's the end game that's difficult then. So I've got a pointed pair of 7s there, so that must be a 7 as well. 7's 8, so now that I've done 7, chances are the grid has changed slightly, so let's revisit these cells. So on the top cage, I've got 1, 6, 7 and 5. Can't deduce any of that. On the column, I've got 4, 6 and 5. 5 can't go there, so still can't deduce those yet. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, this doesn't deserve impossible. Well, we may be speaking too early though, so we need to wait and see. So on this column, I've got 1, 3, 5 and 6. I've got 1 and 5 there, so this is a 3 and 6. That is 1 and 5 because I've got 1, 5 pair on the row. So maybe it's one of those like end game difficulties where it is difficult but right at the end. But I have a pair of 5s here. So these are 4, 5, 6 and 3. And 3 can go in these 2 cells, okay? So let's see, where can the 5s go? 5s can go in every single one of these cells. And I think that's everything pencil marked in. So, where do we go from here? Now we need to use some advanced techniques, I think, and that's where it gets impossible for us. I've got 5, 6, 7 triple there, so that resolves the 8 and the 5. Hold on, this is definitely right, isn't it? 1, 5, 6, and 7. I've got 7 there, so 1, 5, 6, and... yeah, that is correct. So that's 8, that's 5, which means this, no, this is 8 and that's 3. Keep making those silly mistakes. So now these can't be... what can't they be? They can't be 5s anymore. So that can't be a 5. This can't be a 5. I'm left with a 1, 7 pair. Ah, it's still not solved yet. So that is interesting. So what do we do now? Oh, it just reminds me, earlier at the LA Times Sudoku, there was a unique rectangle that I could have used to resolve the puzzle, but I didn't need to, so that was interesting. Actually, yeah, I did ended up pencil marking everything, didn't I? So I think if I used the unique rectangle, I think I could have solved it without filling in all the cells, but I forgot about it. So again, goes to show my memory is pretty poor. Okay, so what do we do now? 1, 3, so I need a 1 and 5. I'm not going to get that. 1, 3, 1, 5. So I need a 3 and 5. Nope, don't have that. What about that? I need 4 and 5. Only on the 4 and 6s. Nope. 3, 4, 6. I've got 5 and 6 up there. Kind of. Oh, 5 and 6. So 5 and 6. 3 and 5. 3 and 6. So this is a bend triple. And I think this is why it's impossible, because this is a genuine kind of like this, kind of like the first of the difficult techniques, the first of the advanced techniques. So this is a triple, bend triple, because 5 and 6 shares a 5, 3 and 5 shares a 3, and 5, 6 and 3, 6 shares a 6. And basically you're looking for two cells within a cage that have that kind of parities. So you've got these two cells have shares of 3, and they don't share the 5 and 6, and you look for 5 and 6 somewhere else. And with that, we can eliminate a number from here, because I can't remember the exact logic with it, because I get a bit confused and muddled up when I try to explain it in my head. But I think if either one of these, if this is a 3, then that has to be a 5, and that would have to be a 6. Whereas if that is a 3, then this would have, if this was a 3, then that would have to be a 6. And why would that have to be a 5? I can't remember now. Well, that would have to be a 1. That would be a 7. That leaves a 5, 6 pair. I'm not too sure how the parity comes in. But like these two cells are linked by the 5, and these two cells are linked by the 3, and these two cells are linked by the 6. And with that, the idea is that, let's think about this again. Yeah, if this is a 3, okay, I think I got it now. The way it works is, if this is a 3, then that would have to be a 6. So that can't be a 6 anymore. Whereas if this is a 3, then that would have to be a 5. Then that would have to be a 6. So either way, this cell sees a 6. So it's not the fact that these 3 cells have an intrinsic relationship. It's just the way you spot the triples. But basically, either of the scenarios with these 2 cells would result in that not being able to be a 6. So with that, we can resolve this cell as a 5 and that as a 6, which means that can't be a 6 anymore. That has to be a 6, and that's a 6. That has to be a 3. So 3, 1, 1, 5, 7, and 4 and 5, and 4 and 3. And over here we've got 1, 5, and 7. And that's the LA Times Impossible Sudoku done in 11 minutes thanks to Sudoku Exchange. So yeah, with a good app, it's so easy to solve these puzzles, and it's so easy to like kind of, because basically with pen and paper, you can use your finger. I use my finger to trace lines, and I seem to make less mistakes. But with on a screen, the downside is with the mouse, I don't seem to trace lines very well. So I ended up just trying to trace lines in my head, and I miss it a lot. But with Sudoku Exchange, you can literally just draw a line, and that makes it a lot easier. So yeah, that's the impossible Sudoku done, and I've run out of Sudokus to do now, and it's been nearly 3 hours stream, so hope it's been fun. How are you doing for time? I thought it was actually impossible, kind of a letdown. Hi Potato, some guy Potato. Yeah, it's a bit of a letdown. Well, I'll tell you what the letdown is though. The letdown is the fact that I can't do this. I can't actually do it on the website, on the LA Times Sudoku website. I have no idea why it's blocked, but it is. And I'm able to load it up on my phone with, where's OBS gone? I'm able to load it up on my phone with, yeah, with the same Wi-Fi. So I don't know why it loaded on my phone and not on any of my browsers. It didn't load on Explorer, it didn't load on Firefox, which is what I normally use. It didn't load on Chrome. So yeah, I'm gonna have to ask r/Sudoku on Reddit to see if anyone else had that problem and if they found a way around it. It may be that I've got some sort of blocker on my computer, but I don't think so. I don't think I've got, like, I don't think it's the firewalls that causes that. So, do you guys have any requests for what I should do? And yeah, say hi to each other and tell me how you are.